Want to wow someone this Halloween with the sweetest surprise you've ever made? Today we're making these sturdy little treat cup holders that are adorable, giftable, and way easier to make than they look. Hello everyone, my name is Jennifer Maker, and it's a beautiful day to make some Halloween treats. These little holders use dome lid cups and some cardstock to create something totally charming. And yes, they are sturdy enough to actually carry treats in without tipping or collapsing. You can make them with your cutting machine, and I'll show you every step to get it just right. Now, if you've ever seen cute cup gift ideas and thought, I'd love to make that, but it looks too complicated, you are not alone. I've definitely had that moment too, which is why I made this design simple, strong, and easy to follow. Whether you're a pro or brand new to your Cricut or paper crafting, you are totally in the right place. And this isn't just a Halloween idea. You can customize these for birthdays, anniversaries, Christmas, or really any theme you want. I will show you the Halloween cat and spider version today, but there's also a ghost and other decorations too. I even have a few more that I'll tell you about. You can use my PDF files to cut these designs by hand, but today I'll use a Cricut Maker 4. You can also use the original Cricut Maker, an Explorer series machine, a Cricut Venture, or another machine that uses cut files. Now, I didn't find domed cups small enough to fit on paper that fits in the original Cricut Joy, but they do work with the Cricut Joy Xtra's larger cutting area. That version has a few extra steps, but I'll show you the differences and how it works at the end. You'll find the complete supply list for this project at jennifermaker.com/718. But let me tell you exactly what you need to make these awesome treat cup holders. I designed these treat cup holders to fit clear dome lid cups, and you can find the exact ones I used linked in the supply list. There are two sizes available, 12 ounce and 16 ounce. Both come with those fun dome lids that let you fill them with lots of treats. To make the holders, I use 65-pound cardstock for the base pieces, the accent panels, and the embellishments. Make sure you use high-quality paper so all the details cut cleanly. I used 12 by 12-inch cardstock with my Cricut Maker 4 and a green standard grip machine mat. I also tested the design on 8.5 by 11-inch cardstock with the Cricut Joy Xtra, and it worked beautifully. Since this project is 3D, we'll need to add some crease lines to fold. I'm demonstrating with the score version, using a scoring stylus or single scoring wheel to make indents to crease. If you don't have a scoring tool, you can use the no score files, which will add dashed cut lines instead. Both options are in my download folder. Other standard tools like a brayer, craft spatula, weeding tool, scraper, and scissors will also help. For assembly, I'm using Barely Art Precision Craft Glue. You can use any craft glue you like, but I really like this one because the fine tip makes it easy to glue those detailed embellishment layers without making a mess. You'll also need some ribbon to tie the top of your holder once it's assembled. A piece of string or twine works great too. And don't forget, you'll need some treats to fill your cup. I'm using Halloween candy, and of course we need our design files. The downloadable SVG folder has score versions of the 12-ounce and 16-ounce cup holders, and no score versions. There's also files for the Joy Xtra for each size cup holder. The Joy Xtra doesn't use a score tool, so these are no score files. Plus, there's a file with all the decorative embellishments. In Cricut Design Space, I'll click Upload and find the cup holder SVG file with score in the name. I'll demonstrate with the 16-ounce version, but these directions are the same for the 12-ounce score version too. If you don't want to use a scoring tool, you can use the design with no score in the file name instead. Add your selection to the canvas. If you're using a version of the file for the Cricut Joy Xtra, these directions mostly apply, but I'll highlight a couple slight differences after I'm done with this version. For now, let's focus on the regular score version you can cut on a full-size cutting machine. Now, go back to upload the embellishments file and add it to the canvas too. If you're not sure how to upload files to Cricut Design Space, watch my training series at jennifermaker.com/svgs. Here's how the 16-ounce score cup holder file and the embellishments look on my canvas. The 12-ounce version has a different layout, but works the same way. Let's prepare the cup holder by ungrouping and spreading out the pieces. There's one large piece with a rectangular center and two curved tabs. This forms the base that cradles the cup. There's also a similar piece with a rectangular shape. This is the other side of the holder and helps reinforce the base for extra stability. Then there are two decorative panels for the front and back. If you're using the version of the file without score lines, it's almost ready to cut, but the score version has a few steps. The arrows in the Layers panel mean there are still grouped pieces, so click the top one to see them. In this group, the top layer with just lines is our crease. So click just the lines layer, then go to the operation drop-down next to the color box and set it to score. Click the group to select both layers, then click Attach to keep them together during cutting. Repeat the process for the other score layer. Now for the embellishments. Ungroup them, then delete any embellishments you do not want to use on your cup holder. Let's make a witchy cat with her spider friend. You can make this cup holder with whichever colors and patterns you like using the color box. I'll keep the embellishments like they are, but the holder needs some color. I'll use patterned cardstock on the decorative panels, so I'll change their color to blue. Since we attach the score lines to the holder, you'll need to expand each piece's layers in the Layers panel. Then, click just the cut layer before changing the color. I'll save some paper by picking the green for the cat's eyes. And when you change the color of the other side, be sure to click the same green under Material Colors in the Color menu so they go on the right mat. When everything looks the way you'd like, check that the right machine is selected and click Make. This takes us to the Prepare screen, where we can choose our material sizes. Make sure the material size selected for each mat matches the paper you're using. I'm using all 12 by 12-inch cardstock, so I'll keep them the same. You might be able to save some paper by moving embellishments inside the cup cutouts, so take a look. And if you're using patterned paper with a directional design, like one with text that needs to face a certain way, make sure to position those pieces so they run from top to bottom. You want everything to look perfect later. Select the mat you want to cut first. I'll start with the big holder. Then click Continue. On the Make screen, let's set the base material settings for our mats. All of the cardstocks I've listed cut well using the medium cardstock setting with more pressure. You can save some time by checking the box next to Remember Material Settings. If you have any issues cutting your pieces, you can check out my intricate cuts tutorial at jennifermaker.com/234 for all my tips and tricks to getting nice clean cuts on really detailed designs like these. If your mat has a score operation, follow the screen's instructions. You can change the tool option by clicking Edit Tools. Make sure your tools are clean and in the right spots. Place your first sheet of cardstock face up on a green standard grip machine mat. To help with those intricate cuts, use a brayer to make sure it's fully and evenly adhered. Load the machine mat into your Cricut, then press the middle flashing button to begin cutting. When everything is complete, unload the mat. Then flip it over onto your work surface and gently bend the mat away from your cardstock to release the paper without ripping or tearing. Then move on to prepare your next mat. Make sure you use the right cardstock for what is on your screen. As you unload the pieces, lay them out face up on your work surface to keep everything organized. To remove the small bits left on your mat after you remove the cut pieces, use a scraper tool. This is faster than removing them by hand, and leaving them behind can cause issues with getting clean cuts. Use the same steps to prepare, cut, and remove from the rest of your mats. Remember to orient your patterned paper to fit the panels. Use a craft spatula under the smaller, intricate pieces as you're removing them to avoid tearing delicate sections. A weeding tool is also handy to pop out small bits of remaining cardstock. Here are the cut cup holder pieces. There's the large piece with C-shaped tabs, the smaller back piece, and the 2 accent panels, and the fun embellishment layers. You don't want to mix them up, so sort them into piles for each design, then layer them in the same order they appear on your screen in Cricut Design Space. They assemble from least detailed being the bottom layer to most detailed being the top layer. To start assembling the cup holder, grab the large holder piece, one of the accent panels, and your craft glue. I'm using my glue's precision tip for lots of control. Apply some to the back of one accent panel, avoiding the cutouts. Flip the panel glue side down and line up the cutouts over the larger cup holder piece. Lower it down and then press to attach. Make sure the bottom of the panel is above the crease, so it can bend freely. Use a brayer to smooth the layers together. Now, attach the other panel to the other cup holder piece. Flip both holder pieces over so the decorative panels are face down. The creases are really important when you need flat paper to become 3D. If you used a scoring tool, crease lines will look like indented lines. If you use the no-score design, the crease lines will look like dashed cut lines. I'll just refer to both as crease lines for the rest of the tutorial. On the larger piece, fold the big C-shaped tabs up on the crease lines closest to the main part. Then on the smaller piece, fold up on the crease line to form a rectangular area at the bottom. Using the crease lines as guides, apply craft glue to the entire back of the smaller holder piece's rectangular area. Then attach the glued rectangle to the rectangle on the larger cup holder piece. Line them up precisely so the creases can still bend easily. This area will become the base of the cup holder. Fold up the rest of the crease lines on both of the C-shaped pieces. Fold one of the C-shaped pieces on the crease lines so the tabs are touching the rectangular base, forming a 3-dimensional pocket. Now let's attach the pocket to the base. I found it easiest to attach one tab at a time, so add craft glue to the bottom of one, then press it down straight onto the base to secure it. Try to keep the pocket's edges parallel with the edges of the base. Then do the same thing with the other tab. Repeat the same steps with the C-shaped piece on the other side. Try to make the edges of each side match up and almost touch in the center, rather than overlap. When glued, the base of the holder should resemble a short, rectangular box with a circle cut out in the center where the cup will go. Now that the base is finished, let's put together the rest of the holder. Add some craft glue along the long, thin sides of the base box. Then fold up the holder's sides to meet the glue. Use your fingers to press them in place until they dry. These need to be really secure. Now let's put together our embellishments. Flip one of the stacked embellishments over so it's face down on your work surface. Flip the bottom layer over so it's right side up, and carefully apply glue to the back of the next layer, making sure to get the thinnest bits too. Turn the glued piece over so it's glue side down, and place it onto the bottom layer, carefully lining up the edges before it dries. Press gently to adhere. You can use a paper towel to clean up any excess glue. Repeat this process to finish the layers. I'll attach the hat to the cat so his ears still peek out. Then assemble the rest of your embellishments the same way. Once your embellishments are assembled and dry, apply craft glue to each one and adhere them to the outside of the holder, wherever you like. Just don't place them past the bottom edge, or your holder may not stand correctly. Now let's tie everything together. Cut a 24-inch piece of ribbon. Insert an end through each of the 2 small holes on the back layer of the assembled holder, and pull them all the way through the front layer of the holder so they're even on both sides and the paper layers come together. Tie the ribbon in a bow at the front, then trim the ends as needed. Finally, it's time to add the cup. Open the cup and fill it with treats. Really mound them on top so they fill the dome. They're pretty strong and should be able to hold a few pounds if you have small, heavy items. Put on the lid, then slide the cup in through the back of the holder, inserting the bottom into the circular cutout in the base. And you're done. Now, if you want to make a cup holder for a different occasion, you might be curious about where to find other designs to replace the cat or ghost. I have just the place for you. It's a searchable library filled with thousands of designs ready for your ideas. Advance is my private crafting program where I get to go beyond the basics with you. I teach creative techniques, share exclusive templates and tools, and help you take what I design and make it feel like you. Whether you're customizing a gift, designing a shadow box, or decorating daily items, it's a space where your creativity gets to shine. But Advance isn't just workshops and templates. It's a full library of step-by-step tutorials, printable toolkits, and handy cheat sheets to make every project easier. And one of my favorite parts is the community. There are thousands of passionate crafters inside who love to share, encourage, and celebrate each other. We even have fun monthly challenges with themes that spark your imagination and get you trying new things. No pressure, just joy. If that sounds like your kind of space, you can check it out anytime at jennifermaker.com/advance, or just click the link below this video. I truly believe crafting is better when we do it together, and I'd be thrilled to welcome you. And we have projects and tips for different machines, like how to get this big project to work with a Cricut Joy Xtra. Remember, the Xtra projects have their own files. These cup holder files come together similarly to the version for the other machines, with a few key differences. Let's ungroup to see them. To work with the Joy Xtra, all the pieces need to fit on 8.5 by 11-inch paper, so I designed the holder in 3 pieces to fit the smaller paper. Don't worry, I'll show you how they go together. Since the Joy Xtra doesn't have a score tool, we'll use dashed cut lines. Now you can add and choose your embellishments and change any colors following the main tutorial. Just make sure all 4 pieces for the holder are the same color so the transitions will be less noticeable later. And set the decorative panels to a new color so they get their own mat. Check that your Joy Xtra is selected, then click Make. Check that your material sizes are set correctly and adjust them if needed using the drop-down menus. Remember, keep the piece's orientation in mind if you'll use patterned paper. The cutting process is the same as I showed you before. Place your mat's material in the top left corner of the mat and follow the prompts in Design Space to cut your materials. After cutting your mats and removing the pieces, refer back to the first part of the tutorial to learn how to assemble your embellishments. Now let's focus on assembling the Joy Xtra version of the cup holder. You will have the 2 panels plus 4 pieces for the holder, the front, back, and 2 pieces with C-shaped tabs that fold up to form the area where the cup will sit. Just like the big version, glue an accent panel on one of the large pieces and secure it with your brayer, then repeat for the other large piece. Then flip one over face down and leave the other face up. Then flip one over face down and leave the other face up. We'll layer the rectangles to put these pieces together. Add glue to the bottom rectangle on the face down piece. Place a C-shaped piece on top, making sure the rectangles align so the creases will work. Press to adhere. Add glue to the new top rectangle, then align the other C-shaped piece on top. Adhere the layers well. Add glue to the back rectangle on your last piece, then align it on the bottom of the stack. Brayer the layered pieces so they're really secure. Fold up the rest of the crease lines on both of the C-shaped pieces. Fold one of the C-shaped pieces on the crease lines so the tabs touch the rectangular base, forming a 3-dimensional pocket. Now let's attach the pocket to the base, one tab at a time. Add craft glue to the bottom of one, then press it down straight onto the base to secure it. Try to keep the edges of the pocket parallel with the edges of the base. Then do the same thing with the other tab. Repeat the same steps with the C-shaped piece on the other side. Try to make the edges of each side match up and almost touch in the center, rather than overlap. And now we're back on track to follow the main tutorial. A smaller machine doesn't have to limit your projects as long as you have some creativity and patience. When it's assembled, it should look just like the one cut on my Maker 4. Then follow my instructions from earlier to add the ribbon closure, the embellishments, and finally, a cup full of treats. Here are what my finished dome cup holders look like. Fill them with candy or other small treats for a cute and unique gift. Didn't these turn out cute? I love how you can decorate them for any holiday or occasion, and they are such a sweet way to give and receive tiny treats and presents. And once you've made a cup holder or several, I've got a tip. You should not tip the holder on its side, or the cup may fall out, especially if it's full of heavier treats. But holding it upright by its handle, you won't have any problems. You can even swing it around a bit and it'll stay just fine. I'd love to see how yours come out. Please join us in our Cricut Crafters group at jennifermaker.com/cricketcrafters and share photos. And that's it for today. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you had fun and learned something. Until next time, this is Jennifer Maker reminding you to craft a life you love.